My first summer in the Sierra by John Muir. August the 5th. We were awakened this morning before daybreak by the furious barking of Carlo and Jack and the sound of stampeding sheep. Billy fled from his bunk bed to the fire and refused to stir into the darkness to try to gather the scattered flock or ascertain the nature of the disturbance. It was a bear attack, as we afterward learned, and I suppose little was gained by attempting to do anything before daylight. Nevertheless, being anxious to know what was up, Carlo and I groped our way through the woods, guided by the rustling sound made by fragments of the flock, not fearing the bear, for I knew that the runaways would go from the enemy as far as possible, and Carlo's nose was able to be depended upon. About half a mile east of the corral, we overtook 20 or 30 of the flock and succeeded in driving them back. Then, turning to the westward, we traced another band of fugitives and got them back to the flock. After daybreak, I discovered the remains of a sheep carcass, still warm, showing that Bruin must have been enjoying his early mutton breakfast while I was seeking the runaways. He had eaten about half of it. 6 dead sheep lay in the corral, evidently smothered by the crowding and piling up of the flock against the side of the corral wall when the bear entered, making a wide circuit of the camp. Carlo and I discovered a third band of fugitives and drove them back to camp. We also discovered another dead sheep, half eaten, showing there had been 2 of the shaggy freebooters at this early breakfast. They were easily traced. They had each caught a sheep, jumped over the corral fence with them, carrying them as a cat carries a mouse, laid them at the foot of fir trees 100 yards or so back from the corral, and eaten their fill. After breakfast, I set out to seek more of the lost, and found 75 at a considerable distance from camp. In the afternoon, I succeeded, with Carlo's help, in getting them back to the flock. I don't know whether all are together again or not. I shall make a big fire this evening and keep watch. When I asked Billy why he made his bed against the corral in rotten wood, when so many better places offered, he replied that he wished to be as near the sheep as possible in case bears should attack them. Now that the bears have come, he has moved his bed to the far side of the camp and seems afraid that he may be mistaken for a sheep. This has been mostly a sheep day, and of course, studies have been interrupted. Nevertheless, the walk through the gloom of the woods before the dawn was worthwhile, and I have learned something about these noble bears. Their tracks are very telling, and so are their breakfasts. Scarce a trace of clouds today, and of course, our ordinary midday thunder is wanting.